How we doing, YouTube? Steve here. It is Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Tuesday, June 4th. Oh, what a day. What a day. What time is it? 9:30 at night. Killer day today. It was a killer day today. I started the morning at Iowa 80. I had breakfast about 7. Rolled out a few minutes after 7. That's when my reset was done. And then went, where'd I go? Clayton? Indianapolis, just outside of Indianapolis. I don't even remember where the heck I went. Yeah, Clayton. Went to Clayton. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to, because I was early. But my dispatcher said, "Oh no, on my screen it says you can deliver it early." On my screen it did not say that. It said bring it tomorrow. He's no. They got 3 empties. Get right. He said get right over there. I was in Iowa when he said, or Nebraska when he told me that. He said take it right over. I said okay. So I did, and they did. They took it and. Wasn't bad to get in and out of there. It's a dog food place. That load was heavy, and it felt heavy the whole dang way. And it seems like everybody was just 2 miles an hour. You know, there's nothing works right when you're heavy going up the hills and down the hills. Anyhow, so I get over there, and I get that unloaded. And I got like 6 hours, five and a half hours on my clock. What am I gonna do here? I was looking for something to run, and a couple of ones that I stopped on the way and looked, but I didn't want to book a load until I knew for sure that I could get this one empty and get an empty trailer, because it was a drop it was a driving hook, but if they didn't have an empty, then I'm gonna have to go hunt for an empty JB trailer hunt. You know how that is. But they did. They had an empty. So I said, but now the loads I wanted was gone. Isn't that the luck of it? So I'm looking around, looking. I had to call my dispatcher. Load, whatever they call it. I don't know if they call them dispatchers or not. I don't know what they call them. You only talk to them if you have a problem. Otherwise, you just click the app. So I go several days and don't talk to them at all unless the app screws up, which happens. And, so I had the app messed up, so I had to call him, have him fix that. And then I had to call him right back because I found a load. At that point, I didn't have a load. I had a load, but I needed to get him. It wouldn't let me. What was the deal? Oh, I had to cancel. What was it? Anyway, there was some kind of issue. Oh, it wouldn't let me click out of the one I was on to click on the new one. So then when he finally helped me get through the new one, he can do it on his end. Then he canceled the one that I had for Thursday, Friday out of Evansville, which was fine because it was going to be tough getting down that way at this point. I kind of wanted it as a spare on the backup, but that was it was no big deal. So then I got this load. I got another load that I delivered, or I picked up in Frankfort, Indiana, at the Frito-Lay. If you notice a trend, I look for Frito-Lays. I've been out of there 100 times. Not 100, but several times. And it always works real good. This load wasn't on the board earlier. I mean, it wasn't on the board an hour before I booked it. But I do the math, I can make it. It went from Frankfort to Beloit. And when I booked it, for some reason, I thought Beloit was just north of Chicago. I forgot that it was just north of Rockford. But I remembered that almost instantly. But I had forgot it to begin with. I was like, oh, that's no problem. It's a little bit out of the way coming back, but and then there was a load coming out of Chicago that would have worked. But I was afraid to book that one until I got this one undone in case there was a problem on this end, because there was a problem on the other end. I go to check in, and the girl at the guard check says, this load isn't even in the system. I said, you need a different number? And she said, no, the whole load altogether is not in the system under any number. So, oh, for heaven's sake. So then I had to pull out, you know, because I was in the middle of the parking lot, or in the middle of I was blocking the way. And so I loop around and go out, and I'm sitting there waiting. And I got to call him. And he said, you calling me again? I called him like 4 times today. And he must have had a good day because he's in a good mood. Well, he usually is, but Alex is my guy. I don't know who you guys use. But so I go, I had to wait. Of course, then he's got to call or email the rep for Frito-Lay or for that load, and then that rep has to call Frito-Lay, email them, and then it's a production. And so about 10 minutes later, which wasn't too bad in the big scheme of things, although my clock is running, so this is getting kind of thin. He said, tell her this, it's this load, that's the right load number, but tell her it's under this, and here's the trailer number that it's on, and that should work. So I pull back around, I give her this new information, and now there's a couple trucks behind me, and because they run a lot of trucks in and out of Frankfurt. And she said, a couple minutes later, she says, I got 2 different plants looking into it. She said, pull around, out of the way. She didn't make me leave. And I gave her my phone number. She said, I'll call you. And it was about 15 minutes. I'm looking for loads, you know, to replace it in case it doesn't work. About 15 minutes later, she calls, 20. She said, okay, I think we figured it out, and we got your bills, and, you know, go drop your trailer and pick up your other trailer, and I'll give you your bills when you come out. So that's what I did. And so I had back on my Beloit load. But now there's nothing. There really wasn't there was one load I could have booked, but I was afraid that I was going to have a problem on this end. Maybe there's some kind of issue. I'm just nervous about booking ahead unless I really am confident that I'm going to be able to get out of where I'm at. So I come up to Beloit. No trouble, a little bit of trouble in Northwest Indiana for some construction where a police had somebody pulled over. But all that construction on 294 and 290 and everything went right through it, no problem. I couldn't believe it. And I got up here with about 25 minutes to spare. Maybe not quite that much on my drive time, but close. And it's a little confusing to get into this place. It's a Frito-Lay in Beloit. It's been there for a long time. I was there once for Schneider 10 years ago, maybe 15. I don't remember how long ago it's been. And I almost pulled in the wrong driveway 2 different times. Then and this time. And both times I was like, this looks like, oh, no, that ain't it. And then I remembered like 10 years ago doing the exact same thing. It may have been longer than that I was up here for Schneider. It was a long time ago. I worked for Schneider a couple times. I think I've worked for Schneider 3 times, actually. Yeah, I have. Anyway, that's another story for another day. So I get up there, or I get in that gate. She's very nice. I like people from Wisconsin. They're always so friendly. And I get up there, get in and out, but took a few minutes. Long story short, I'm almost out of time now. I got into my 14-hour, and I was running close on time, so I had to PC from there to. I found a good parking place. I'm not going to tell you where it is because everybody will steal them. But it's just across the border, back into Illinois. I'd rather stay in Wisconsin. Found me a quick trip in the morning. But it is tough parking in Rockford, Beloit area. Ooh-wee. You boys know that. But I found me a spot that I don't have to pay for, and it's on the end. What luck. Lucky day. It's my lucky day. Everything worked out pretty well, except I don't have a load for morning. So All right, everybody, we're out of time, so God bless, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.